Chancellor to Dictator in 4 simple steps.
Welcome folks. In this video we're going to look at how Hitler goes from being Chancellor to Dictator in 4 relatively quick steps. The story begins in January the 30th, 1933, a bad day for history. Adolf Hitler has just been appointed Chancellor of Germany.
To carry out the obligations of the office of Chancellor without party interests and for the good of the nation.
I do.
And do you further swear to uphold the Constitution, support the President, and respect the right of the Reichstag? So help you God.
I do.
That clip from The Rise of Evil shows the moment well. President Hindenburg was frail. He didn't like Hitler. He called him the Austrian corporal as a put-down. But as he saw it, he had no choice. Von Papen and von Schleicher have both failed as Chancellor, failed to control Hitler. And then you have to remember there's a real communist threat at this point. The German establishment are terrified of the prospect of a communist revolution. They're the 3rd biggest party in the Reichstag. So if given the choice between Hitler and the Nazis and the Communist Party, Hindenburg is only ever going to make one choice. And as an aside, the Nazis really do organise that march outside the window when Hindenburg looks out ominously. The Nazis know how to highlight these moments and really symbolise their importance.
That very evening, the 30th of January 1933, in Berlin and all the other large German cities, Goebbels organised a torchlight parade of the Steel Helmet Veteran Group, the SS, and at the front, the SA Stormtroopers. Goebbels declared that 1 million people marched in the parade, but the British military attaché estimated them at less than 15,000 marchers, made to go around in circles for hours by Goebbels. They passed under the windows of the 85-year-old President Hindenburg, who, believing himself to be in Verdun in 1916, said to his aide, "Our men are parading well. They've taken many prisoners." Hitler, at the Chancellery, received the frenzied tribute. A Berlin schoolteacher looked on and said, "I heard people shouting, 'Death to the Jews! Jewish blood will gush under the knife.'" Goebbels concluded, "It's like a fairy tale." But this fairy tale did not have a happy ending.
But here's the thing. Hitler and the Nazis don't actually have that much power at this stage. Yes, they are the biggest party in the Reichstag, but they don't have an overall majority. The last few chancellors have struggled to control things, although a big part of that was the Nazi disruption of the Reichstag. So Hitler, he plans another election for March 1933, and he's hoping to get an overall majority. When, seemingly out the blue,
the great Reichstag, the German parliament building, burned down in the night. Nothing was left of the most powerful symbol of German democracy.
The Reichstag fire?
When the police show up, they find this guy, Marinus van der Lubbe, and he had matches and firelighters in his pockets. Yeah, just like that. Honey, is the girl allowed to play with matches? No. Anyway, it turns out that this young Dutch guy was a communist planning a revolution. This was perfect for the Nazis. They get to round up their arch enemies and throw them in jail. It just so happened they had a list of communists ready and waiting for such an event.
Ah, a communist! A dirty communist! See, I'm not dirty. I've just been in a bath. You're under arrest.
No.
Grandpa, are you a communist?
Yes, I am.
Prove it. Prove it.
There's my card.
Well, I'm here to arrest you.
I don't care what you do, you won't stop the revolution. It shall go on.
Even after the fire and the hysteria that's been whipped up against the communists, the Nazis still don't win an overall majority in the election. Yes, they gain seats. They get 44% of the vote. But it's important to note that a majority of the German public always vote against Hitler. So he's got a difficult task. He's got his law, he needs to get it through the Reichstag.
But this completely overrides the Constitution. Effectively, it puts you in charge.
These are troubled times, sir. The Constitution could not anticipate them. The national monument is being destroyed. Our democracy is under attack. If we're to wage war on these foreign infiltrators, certain civil rights must be suspended.
When power is seized instead of bestowed, the hand that seizes it is often burned. The Reichstag must approve this before I sign anything.
The government assumes the right to intervene in any situation to restore order. The right to draft laws passes from the Reichspräsident to Chancellor. I offer the Reichstag the chance for peace in Germany.
Never! If you respect our Constitution...
Chancellor, please return to his seat. I will take any refusal as a statement of opposition. Gentlemen, you must decide. Will it be peace or war?
Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles, über alles in der Welt. Wenn es denn zu Schuss und Trutze, brüderlich zusammenhält.
The Enabling Act.
There is no doubt that the Nazis pressured other parties. They used every trick in the book to get the Enabling Act passed. They needed more than just a majority. Because it was a constitutional change, they need 2/3. But it helps that the communist members are already in jail. They make a lot of promises to the Catholic parties in the Reichstag regarding education and Catholic values. And so, in March 1933, the German Reichstag votes itself out of existence. It hands Hitler the power to write and make his own laws. Germany has become a one-party state, but Hitler is not done there.
The Night of the Long Knives.
In the summer of 1934, Hitler's paranoia and megalomaniac tendencies lead to an event which has been described as the Night of the Long Knives. He sees a real threat from within the Nazi party, specifically the SA. Remember the SA, they're the Nazi militia, led by Ernst Röhm. But since the Nazis have been in power, they're getting too disruptive, too reckless. Hitler needs to rein them in. So he invites the leaders of the SA to a hotel. And in the middle of the night, Hitler personally leads a unit of SS guards. Many of the SA leaders are murdered in their beds.
What's going on? Don't you know who I am? Ha ha ha!
Something like that. Ernst Röhm himself was arrested, but Hitler wanted to give him the honourable decision, so he gives him a pistol. Röhm refuses to commit suicide and is executed. For 3 days, the SS, with a little bit of help from the Gestapo, the secret police, carry out hundreds of executions. Anyone who stood up to Hitler and the Nazis or posed any threat whatsoever was dealt with. This is an incredible show of force. It's a murderous purge, and it leaves no one in any doubt who is in charge and how things are going to go from now on. And that leaves Hitler with just one more step towards dictatorship.
The death of President Hindenburg.
In August 1934, President Hindenburg dies.
Subsequent to the death of President Hindenburg, the office of Reichspräsident will be combined with that of Reichschancellor.
He'd been frail for a long time, and so he was unable to oppose Hitler in those last couple of years. He had appointed the Nazi leader, but he'd failed to control him. With his passing, there should have been an election to vote for a new president, but Hitler used the powers of the Enabling Act and simply cancels the election. He merges the office of President and Chancellor and comes up with a catchy new title, Führer, literally translated as leader. German democracy was now dead. The Weimar Republic had failed as an experiment, and it was replaced by Nazi Germany. Hitler was now a totalitarian leader, and he's got complete control over all the organs of the state. Here endeth the lesson, folks. Chancellor to dictator in 4 steps. Okay, until next time. Bye.